This is Umar for BoxNation. We're back in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I'm joined by the future of the heavyweight division, Moses Itauma, and his manager, Francis Warren. Happy to be back in Riyadh?
I'm blessed, man. It gave me a better intro than Coogan did. Coogan reckons, and a professional boxer, Moses Itauma.
Mr. Itauma.
Like I'm a bricklayer type boxer.
Okay, Francis, I'm going to ask you to name, I don't know if you're going to do it, 5 potential opponents that you're looking at for Moses next, please.
Schwartz, McKean, Hooney, Makhmadov, Takam.
So we're looking at world level next.
It's not quite the world level, is it? But you know,
no, they're boxed at world level.
Yeah, they boxed at world level and majoritively come up short. However, I think he's, you know, and I'm not, you know, they're five opponents that I think are achievable. He's definitely ready for all 5. I think he's proving. Listen, obviously fight night's fight night, but I think, you know, having had conversations with his training team, with Ben, Lee Wiley, I think that, and from what I see in the gym and from conversations that Moses and I have, I think that they're five names that I think he's more than capable of going in there and beating. You know, we just know it, and I think they're good fights for him to gain experience to get onto that next level. The next level isn't either. It's not world level, but it's high level international opponents that are sort of, you know, they're the guys that get call ups to fight for voluntary world titles, aren't they? So it's not saying they're world level elite fighters. They're good gatekeepers, I think. For gatekeepers is the wrong word as well. They're up. It's a couple of up and coming fighters in there that I think that Moses should be, you know, stamping them out early. And there's a couple of other guys in there that we know he can go and do a job on.
Do you like the sound of that? Those names?
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of Takam before, but like no, as in like. No, as in, I mean, like me matching him up with Takam. I haven't heard that one before, but that's a good fight as well. Did he beat Tony Oka?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Beat Olympic gold medalist. So, do you know what I mean? He's not exactly a bum, is he?
But that must get you going, like hearing those names that the public are aware of so early on in your career, and he's saying, you know, Francis fully believes in you're going to do a job on them. But that's the kind of fights you want to be in at this stage.
100%. I feel like I've done a little bit of learning my first couple of fights, but I'm slowly coming into 10 fights now. Do you know what I mean? I've hit the double-digit mark. Yeah, it's definitely time to start pushing on to some titles, some bigger, better fights, and I feel like I'm ready to be in them.
The loser of JOYCE CHISORA, could that be an option? Obviously, you'd love the winner, but they're obviously going to probably not look at Moses and want to box him. The loser?
We fight the winner.
You want the winner?
We fight. No, I'm not saying we want the winner.
Oh.
We would fight the winner.
Of course.
Fight either. You know, Joe Joyce, love him to bits. Derek is one of my old mates, but you know, this is business, and I think Moses beats both these guys now, whether they either win or lose. I don't think he's going to want to fight. You know, and I'm not being disrespectful. You know, Moses knows what I say when I say this. They're not going to want to get sign off on a defeat to a 19-year-old rising star. They're going to want to go out again in a big money fight. You know, I mean, Tyson's always said he'd give Derek another fight. He's not going to jeopardise that from Moses, is he? But listen, I think it might be a dangerous fight for either of those old boys. I'm only a few. I think Derek's a month older than me, and I'm only a few years older than Joe. So I wouldn't fancy that, would you? But listen. On paper, yes, it's a great profile fight for Moses to fight one of the lads, one of Derek or Joe. If they wanted it, we'd 100% do it. No problem at all. I think it'd be a great night, another great night back at the O2 for the winner or the loser against Moses.
Well, to be fair, it's hard enough for you guys to get people to spar you, let alone in a ring on a fight night.
It's tough. It's tough trying to get the sparring in. And we're at that stage now where we're going to have to start bringing in people for full camps and you know, I mean, he's going to end up paying for full camps like he's fighting for world titles. That's how difficult it is for the sparring. people want paying some serious money for it as well, which is it's a bit of a kick in the balls, but we are where we are. But this guy here is on the cusp of doing something very, very, very special, and it's not about calling people out and being disrespectful, and it's just a case of believing in his own ability and the guy and the team he's got around him, including myself, my dad, Ben, Lee, all making sure that we're all pulling in the same direction as well. No one's getting carried away, and I'm not sitting there saying, oh, he'll be world champion within X amount of time and da-da-da-da. Yes, the ambition is to, as it always has been, is to beat Mike Tyson's record. We're not saying it's definitely going to happen, but it's an ambition. And good luck to Moses for having that ambition, and I respect him for putting it out there in the world to try and chase it down. But we're definitely looking at British titles before the end of the year, or by the end of the year, maybe January 25. So then obviously you're going to throw in another 4 names into the hat who potentially might be British champion at that point, which is obviously Sol Dakers, David Adelaide, Fab Wardley and Fraser Clark. They're all winnable fights for Moses at this stage as well. Not saying they're easy fights by any stretch of the imagination, but that's why sport's sport, because it's competitive. It's, you know, if it was easy every time you got in the ring, no one would watch. So it's about making sure that the right fights are picked at the right time, and it's about making sure that he's at the stage of his career where he's developed, he's experienced enough to get in there. And if it was a 2-round shootout, you pick him every time. But these guys know how to survive because they've been around the block a few times. So we need to make sure that Moses has got the experience to be able to go into later rounds and to be able to, and not be able to get old manned. And that only comes with having fights.
Okay. I think you guys are shooting off in a second. So Moses, I'm just going to leave you with this. Who wins this weekend, Queensbury or Matcham?
Queensbury.
Yeah. Fancy Daniel and Zhang in the heavyweight fights?
What do you mean?
In the 2 fights, you said Queensbury win. Obviously the whole thing, but in the 2 heavyweight fights, who do you fancy?
I say 1-1 with that one. I think Zhang walks through Wilder. I think Hrgovic beats the boy.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, look, as I said, I think you need to shoot off because Frank's shooting soon. But Francis, first time you're actually on the relaunch of BoxNation. It's been too long.
No. We'll have to do a longer one because I've got plenty to talk about Sam and Henry as well, and some of the youngsters coming through with Champion Sports Management. So we've got some good things going on and some terrific fights being lined up for later in this year, and obviously plenty to talk about this young guy.
Yeah, of course. Always got time for you guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Umar.